пока выключить. Окей. Чтобы он... Все. Окей.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I am Anarata Bashalieva, along with co-hosts Dr. Victor Fett, Dr. Katerina Shrey, and our program producer, Professor Shiret. We host a weekly discussion panel on Russia's war on Ukraine with guests from Ukraine, military experts, medical personnel, academics, artists, literary figures, and relief workers. Our panel is recorded and circulated nationally and internationally. We appreciate your comments and feedback. Special thanks to Marshall University Libraries and MUIT for making this weekly event possible. If you are joining us live on Teams, please feel free to use the chat to post any questions for our guest. A quick greetings to our viewers in Ukraine from Dr. Katerina Shrey.
Вітаємо наших слухачів в Україні з глибоким поклоном. Ми далі свідки вашого страшного терпіння і також вашої великої сили. Дякую вам за вашу участь в нашій тижневій програмі.
Thank you, Katerina. Today's guest will be introduced by Dr. Victor Fett.
Thank you, Anna. It's my pleasure and honor to welcome back our friend and contributor, Vita Shtivelman from Toronto, Canada, who will speak about her tour in Ukraine this last October, during which she presented the interactive performance Nechama Means Solace, the project exploring the life and artistry of the legendary singer Nechama Lifshitz and the broader world of Yiddish culture. We also have several participants from Ukraine who are joining our conversation, and we also have Mike Kaufman-Portnikov from Germany, a Ukrainian pianist and director. Vita Shtivelman is a poet, writer, translator, performer, and also founder and director of Arts and Science Club, EtCetera. Vita was born in Chernivtsi, raised in Kazan, later lived in Israel, has been based in Canada since 1999. She is the author of 2 books, recipient of multiple awards, including recognition from the Israeli Knesset and the Canadian Ethnic Media, as well as a nominee for the Governor General's Award in Canada, creator of a number of ongoing anti-war cultural projects. Vita, welcome.
Okay, first of all, Victor and everybody, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm really honored and I'm happy to present here. I was at this stream 3 months ago, right before my trip to Ukraine and Germany. So first, let me tell you what I'm going to like, how we're going to spend the next hour or so. First of all, I will say something about my general impression. Okay, and then I will talk about the performances chronologically. I had 4 performances in Ukraine and 2 in Germany. Of course, mostly I will be talking about Ukraine. So my general impression, it was amazing. It was, I was super happy. The way people accept it. I worked with super talented people in all cities where I performed. So I had 1 performance in Chernivtsi, then 1 in Lviv, then 2 in Kiev, and 2 more in Germany. It was a challenging trip. I can't say it was easy. It was a challenging trip, but it was so great. And I keep thinking about it from from different angles. One of the things I appreciate the most, before I left for this trip, many people, especially on our continent, in Canada and the US, would ask me, okay, Vita, why are you going there? Do they still have, you're going there with the project of it's Jewish culture? Do they still have Jews, Jewish people? Well, this is not important. This is how I started my Festival of Jewish Culture many years ago. It's not about nationality. It's not about ethnical groups. It's about the culture. And yes, in Ukraine, most people I've worked with the creative people and the audience, they are not Jewish at all. And this is what I love. Like, people are open to culture, to history, and I think it's a pleasure to have this feeling. Let me. I can see some people who attended my previous presentation at this online. But for those who don't know, let me just tell you what was the content of my tour. So the content, let me share my screen for a second. Oops. Victor, can you see my screen? And everybody?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So this performance is based on the life and artistry of the great Jewish singer Nechama Lifshitz. To make the long story short, she was not only a genius musician, she was a phenomenal person. I'm sure that Jewish culture, the way we know it today, it wouldn't exist in the same level. I'm not going to tell her story in details now. She was born in she was born in Litva. She was raised in Soviet Union. Miraculously escaped the Holocaust. She survived because she was in evacuation. She was super popular in Soviet Union, but they killed her career because she sang a song on the subject that was silenced and forbidden. The subject of Holocaust and Jewish Holocaust in Soviet Union, it was silenced. Like Babi Yar, most of you know this is the place of a huge massacre of Jewish people. It was not allowed to talk about that. Okay, I really have a special feelings to Nechama. Because when I was a child, can you see the picture of vinyl?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Okay. So when I was a child, honestly, I didn't like the culture and language of my ancestors. I didn't. The only thing I loved was this vinyl with songs of Nechama. I didn't understand nothing, basically a word, but this is an effect of music and art. I didn't understand the words, but I understood the feeling. And when I started my festival of Jewish culture back in 2014, she was still alive, even though quite old, but active. And she was one of the first people who greeted the festival. And trust me, this is one of my biggest, emotional impressions in my entire life. What I keep thinking about her. This is not only a story of a genius musician. No, this is a story about a person with courage, person who was ready to sacrifice her career, preferring the truth over career and money and everything basically. So this is my biggest inspiration. Now, specifically my trip to Ukraine. First, why I wanted to go to Ukraine. One of the reasons, well, I was born in Chernivtsi, and this is where I started my tour, right? And by the way, I had a birthday, even half jubilee. I thought it would be nice to celebrate my birthday, at least in the country, in the places where I was born, and some things that I remember from my childhood and my complicated relationships with the culture and language of my ancestors. That was the reason I wanted to go, and spent there most of from the end of September until most of the October. Now, the feelings. We all know about the war. We all know how how people live in Ukraine and what they feel. And you know what? I can see some participants, people joined from different countries. And when I invited my friends from Ukraine, everybody said, okay, if we have internet, if we have light, if we have internet. One lady from my hometown, from Chernivtsi, she said right from the beginning she couldn't join because her husband is very, very sick, but she wanted me to read what she is right, what she would tell to the audience if she could join. Her name is Natalia Zhilina-Frunchak. And I want to again to emphasize, she helped me a lot. She is not Jewish at all. She is Ukrainian. Again, I will repeat it again and again. It's not about nationality. It's about the culture and about the truth and about the kindness. So right now I'm reading what Natalia is saying. So just translate it into English and reading it now. So this is what she is saying. Right now, we often have up to 15 hours a day without electricity. And that also means no heat. Our heating is gas, but without power, it doesn't work. You can still cook, but almost everything else becomes complicated. When the power comes back on, we rush charging phones and power banks, turning on the washing machine and dishwasher. Usually there isn't enough time to finish a full cycle, so everything gets washed in stages, power cut by power cut. Thankfully, it's still relatively warm here, around plus 10 Celsius during the day. On January 11, this full-scale war will reach the same number of days as World War II lasted in Soviet Union. And in fact, Ukraine has been fighting Russia for almost 12 years now, out of the 35 years of our independence. During World War II, Nazi Germany came to European countries to conquer them, killing civilians wherever they resisted. Russia came to Ukraine to kill me, my children, my friends, my neighbors, to destroy my people and to take not only our lives, but our land. We're deeply grateful to everyone who supports us. We learned to survive in cold and darkness. Generators, batteries, flashlights, headlamps were not easy to break. Cafes, restaurants, shops, many of them are open, all running on generators. You know, there is one music store on my street. They have a generator too, and they keep working. I often think back to the beginning of the war for us, for my family. February 24, 2022. My husband and our dog and I were leaving Kiev. It was a Thursday. 2 days earlier, my husband had surgery. We left at 6 in the morning and drove under Russian bombs and missiles. We live in Chernivtsi and visit Kiev quite often. A trip normally takes 8 hours. Now, that day it took us 28 hours. My husband barely left the steering wheel the entire time. Just getting out of Kiev took 7 hours. The roads were completely jammed. At one point he shouted, "Open the window now!" A bomber flew over us. The blast wave could have shattered the windows. during those long hours, I kept thinking about the war I knew from the stories told by older generations, World War II. And I couldn't escape feeling that these wars are frighteningly similar. And I had exactly the same feeling when the war started, like end of February, because I remember stories told by my grandmas and grandpas and grandpa who was killed, like who was a soldier killed World War II, and the terrifying feeling, it's actually the same areas like where my ancestors from, Petrivka, Ackerman. So like I wrote a poem about it, like it's the same thing, same bombing, just back in 1941, all this death, it would come from the West, and now it comes from the East. So I wrote a poem. It had quite a good resonate. I will ask Victor to play the translation into Russian. Translation was made by Maria Blostein. Like many of you probably know Maria. By the way, translated Victor's poem to, I'm pretty sure she presented. One second, Victor, one second. Let's you're not sharing this. Presented here to the poem in her translation in English. Was it like, performed in different places, even in Royal Palace of Milan, there was a gala event, Women Against the War and Violence. So like Maria recorded herself reading the poem, and Victor, I would suggest first share the screen and then do include sound, and then
Yes, I'm doing this. One second.
I'm going to be reading translation.
I can see your screen. Yeah, now I can.
She wrote on March 13, 2022. I translated it, and thereafter resonated with me in a number of ways, not least because my father was a teenage kid, and both my grandfathers fought in the war. And my feelings were very similar to those expressed in the poem. So here goes. David. My grandpa David was killed in 42. He had a hellish job, a sapper in the field. There is no grave. The house is gone. He fought a year, then he was felled. His wife and daughter made it with God's help, though faith in God was beyond Grandpa's ken. He fell as he defended east from west. It came from the west back then. Not long ago, my grandma died as well, almost 100. In her room, she had some poison in case war broke out, shattering all. Another grudge she couldn't bear to see. She was a nurse then. Her nightmares to the last were bodies, young and old, screaming with blood and pus. I see my grandma in my dreams sometimes. We talk, our voices barely audible. Awake, I've got my grandpa's medal left, some papers, and a photo on the wall. A faded, hazy photograph from which my young, lively grandparents look on. Tarutin, Petrivka, Ackerman. Those were the places they called home. Now rockets hail down on those parts again, just like in 41. I'm glad that Grandpa David's not around to see it. Grandma's gone. Thanks, Vita.
Victor, thank you very much. So you can stop sharing. So now I would like to talk about, as I promised, chronologically, about my trip and my experience. Wanted to ask people who joined. I invited whoever I worked with in all these performances. Right now, I'm going to talk about Chernivtsi, where I attended the conference Tkuma. In Hebrew, it means resurrection, and so it's the conference is it's called Lessons of Tolerance and Holocaust. Again, what I appreciated, most people, we're not talking about nationality, they're not Jewish people at all, organizers, participants, audience. What I really loved, many people, professors and students, and even some school students, very, very young people, like teenagers, 14, 15, 16 years. So it's good to know that very young audience, they love it, they ask questions, they have genuine interest in the subject. So that was great. I'm asking because I can't see everybody. Do we have anybody who attended the conference in Chernivtsi? Есть ли у нас кто-то, кто был в Черновцах и выступал на этой конференции? Я просто не всех вижу. Я знаю от людей, что нет света, нет интернета, люди не могут подсоединиться. Если нет, то если есть, то подайте знак, скажите что-нибудь. Если нет, то я продолжу.
Чтобы знак, нужно открыть свой микрофон.
Да.
Я не могу.
Нет,
я не знаю, кого открывать.
Да, я вижу, я смотрю люди. Yes, I'm checking this. No, I can't see anybody from Chernivtsi. Then I will say a couple of words. So. This is where my trip actually started, right? Everybody knows no flights in Ukraine, not even internal flights, forget about flights abroad. So I had 3 flights from Toronto to Istanbul, from Istanbul to Bucharest, from Bucharest to Suceava. It's a small town, almost at the Romanian border, Romania and Ukraine. And from that, I had a local carrier. It's like a mini bus, right? The bus takes people and cross the border. The first impression from this country was, this bus is probably 8 people. It's a small bus. So one couple in this bus who crossed the border together with me, everybody, we start talking. Where are you from? Where are you from? They're from Kharkiv, and they're going back to Kharkiv, right? Kharkiv was one of the towns, I've never been there, by the way, which I wanted to include in my tour. And people from Kharkiv told me, Vita, please don't come. And the musician who was there before me, don't come. And somebody from Kiev said, forget it. I have my family in Kharkiv. I got almost all my family in Kiev because Kharkiv is even worse. But see, I can see people still live here. Yeah, we just had some vacation. We're going back to Kharkiv and continue working. I can't even describe what you feel. The people, this war situation, it becomes part of their life. So that was the beginning, and this conference, Tkuma, and in Chernivtsi, I spent 6 days, 4 days at the conference, attending some other events of the conference, and that was great. And no sirens, it was all quiet. The night before I was leaving, early morning, I had to leave to Lviv to the next event. So night before, literally 10 p.m., I was talking on the phone with one of my friends, and she told me, Vita, you're lucky. All these days, no siren. The moment she said it, the siren started. Chernivtsi is, it's relatively quiet, but when the siren starts, nobody can sleep, of course. After some time, it ended, and then I moved to Lviv. in the morning. In Lviv, I can see Sasha Somish here, and maybe other people, but can't see everybody. So in Lviv, we had a performance in honorary consulate of Israel. But before that, again, like my personal expression, so Lviv, as everybody knows, it's a beautiful and ancient town. It's so beautiful and so like unique. I've been there a while back. Normally, western part of the Ukraine is more quiet than eastern part. But I was lucky. So the night I came to Lviv, it was bombing. Not in the neighborhood where I stayed, in some other neighborhood, but still, like, okay. It was quite interesting because, like, I stayed at one place. A wonderful woman slept in my room. And at some point, she's coming to my room. I was sleeping. Vita, don't you hear a siren? No, I was sleeping. Are you crazy? They just get up and let's go to the area close to my bathroom. This is the safest, and everybody, most people don't have any shelters, any bomb shelters, right? Most buildings. Like no shelters in Chernivtsi, no shelters in Lviv. So she said, "Okay, let's go to the close to my bathroom. It's a little bit safer." So we sit together. Then we hear one like big boom. Oh, she's saying, "See, this is a missile. This is Shahed." Okay. Then we can see like some small crack. She is saying, "See." This is the air defense system. Like, I feel like I'm like a school student who is learning things. It was very unpleasant. I don't want to say that I am brave or whatever. Maybe I'm stupid enough. I was thinking about, okay, very unpleasant, about the probability that they hit really us and kill us. And after some, like, it's scary. It is scary, but after some time, you get used to this feeling. And on the most unpleasant feeling that I had, believe it or not, it was very cold, super cold. Even if though it was the beginning of October, it was so cold. And there are no internal heater in this apartment. People in Ukraine, most people in Ukraine, they live very hard. They can't even afford heating, right? Can't afford this additional heating and paying additional bills. It was super cold. And I see, like, okay, I'm cold and cold again and more cold, and this is what I feel even more than being scared from this the sound of missiles. And I feel okay. I had 6 performances planned in this trip, right? But at that moment, I had only 1 performance made. So if I get sick now, this is really not good because everything is announced, even in different towns. So I don't want it. So I am saying to this lady, you know what, Leah, whatever happens. I go under blanket. I want to get warm. The amazing, and we were lucky, nothing happened, even though it was bombing. Some people injured, some buildings injured. The most I don't know, the unbelievable thing, the most amazing thing that we had, like next day, the entire night, people in Lviv, they didn't sleep, right? And organizers of our event, the event was scheduled at 4 p.m. The organizers even thinking, okay, maybe we need to cancel the event. But it was not canceled, and then people came. Believe it or not, people came to the event. Sasha Somish, are you still here? Can you please say something if you are here? hope you.
Am I here with my voice?
Yes, I can hear your voice. You can turn on your
Great.
camera, so we will see you too. Yes.
Am I? Great.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
so much. I will never remember this fantastic experience. First of all, thank you so much for coming to Ukraine, to Lviv, dearest Vita. It was great. And, yes, it was one of the biggest attack on Lviv at that moment. And unfortunately, one girl was killed, and it was a young girl about 15 years old. And the horrible thing was that her father was at the front line at that moment, and he came back from front line to Lviv at her funeral. It's a beautiful young lady, and it happens during this night. And it was the attack was during about 4 hours and a half, almost without stopping, crashing sounds of very bad things and so on. And I was sitting and thinking what Vita will say next morning, because after such a special night, it's not easy to perform. But she say, I will, no problem, I will come. And when we attend the beautiful place, the Honorary Consulate of Israel in West Ukraine, when the performances has been taken, it was quite a lot of people, and we spent a fantastic time with a beautiful story of Vita about Nechama Livshitsaita. And this connection between the time of Nechama and the time of Shoah, of Holocaust, and our days, it was so much meaningful. It was full of deep sense. And there were so many people who never heard about her. And there were people who were Jewish people, quite of big age, but they did not heard about Nechama Livshitsaita. And thanks to Vita's story, they opened this beautiful name and this incredible voice. And they were shocked at how beautiful is it and why they didn't hear about it before. So thank you so much, dear Vita. You made a huge job, educational job. And of course, the feeling that we are not alone in our suffering, and we have such a good friends as Vita, and we are still able to bring some joy to the people. It was very, very important for everyone. So I really appreciate being a part of this project, and I will never forget the people who were smiling in the end and crying in the end and dancing in the end. And that's the way how we celebrate life, and we say L'chaim anyway. And we believe that this light will win. We do everything what we can, and you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sasha. And in a moment, I will good that you mentioned the dancing. In a minute, I will ask Victor to show the dance. Our dance on the screen. But before that, yes, I wanted to this unusual feeling. We're not used to this in our normal life. So from Chernivtsi, as I said, I invited some people, and the one lady, one of the organizers said, Vita, I was about to join, but you know what? Yesterday, we had a disaster in the family of my friends. The guy was not killed, but he was seriously wounded, injured in front, and part of his leg amputated. I just can't. And this is part of their life. This is part of their day-to-day life. This is how they live. Yes, we will survive. We keep everything. And after some time, I talk to him. He is fine. All this. Another thing, and Sasha said yes, became good friends. As I said, I was born in Ukraine. I almost my entire family is some people are not in life anymore. Most of my family is now in Israel. And I know very well what bombings and sirens and all this, and a small part, a very small part in this continent, North America and Europe. Because my family is there every day, starting October 7th, 2023. I am really have kind of addiction. Every 5 minutes, if I need it or not, I open Israeli news. What happens? Are you guys are you okay? different parts of my family, all towns. Like I was following Ukrainian news, but not as much as I do now, because same thing. I feel like feel very close to people I've worked with, and like whatever. I start with Israeli news, then Ukrainian news, and then I ping all people like after every bombing. How are you? We're alive. How are you? We're alive. Like, that this is what happens. But and yes, people keep smiling, keep working, keep dancing. So Victor, if you can, what I wanted to say, like I'm trying to, as much as I can, if the venue admit, I'm trying to make these performances interactive, at least to end the story of Nechama Lifshitz with dance, to just like, it's challenging because, you know, if you tell the story of her life, it starts like like regular life, let's say. Then the dramatic story of this Babi Yar and her career and her immigration to Israel, and then I go to like different, like I would say, episode segments of her life, but with all this sadness, you need to end with something cheerful. This is how we remember her, and this is what he like what she did for Jewish culture. People need to smile and need to dance. Victor, please. So 1 second, I forgot to say a very important thing. Sasha Somish, who just talked, she's running a wonderful band. The name of the band is Strudel Band, right? Great musicians, like really pleasure to listen to them for any events. And they, even though the name is Strudel, they sing and they perform not only Jewish songs, Ukrainian songs, like different songs, and they're very, I would say they have big spectrum and deep feelings. But yes, you can, from this, like just to give people the feeling from this segment, like our dance at the end, please. it's enough, Victor. Victor, thank you very much. So that was Lviv, and after Lviv, I moved to Kiev, and I am like, yeah, as I said, no flights, even no internal flights. But people normally use either buses or trains, so they moved on a train. And in Kiev, I have two performances. The first performance was in Chesed, it's a Jewish organization. And we performed together with Igor Shub. Igor, are you still here?
Yes.
Hi, Igor. So first, I want to thank Igor for participating in this project, and especially Igor is a wonderful director and actor and a poet too. So for this project, I asked Igor to translate the key poem, the key text of my performance. It's a lullaby to Babi Yar. We didn't have original in Yiddish, but we had two translations into Russian, and also different analysis. And based on this, Igor created his translation into Ukrainian. I know that not everybody understands Ukrainian here, but still, I would appreciate, Igor, if you can first read your translation in Ukrainian.
Now? I can? Я би прив'язала колиску до балки, і тебе гойдала би, ангеле мій янкель. Спалахнула хата і горіла б без зупинку. Нема де баюкати тепер тебе, синку. Я би причепила колиску до стелі, співала б і гойдала донечку Елю. Смолоскипом хата до ранку палала, а з неї згоріли всі бебехи, що мала. Я відріжу коси, думкою себе тішу, що на довгих косах колиску підвішу. Та кого баюкати? Де мої діти? Одна я лишилась на всім білім світі. Буду я по світу матерів аукати. Приходьте, матусі, плакати й баюкати. Заспіваймо з вами, як колись ми знову, Бабиному Яру, пісню колискову.
Igor, thank you very, very much. I think this is one of the, I would say, gifts of this tour, that I really made friends with you and your wife Natasha. And not sure if it's really, it's not about performances, but it's about personal experience. So let me tell you something to the audience. So when I was planning the tour, thinking, okay, where I'm staying in Kiev, Igor said, okay, you can live in our apartment, which is the Kiev downtown, but we actually stay in our cottage, Rusanovsky Sady, Rusanov Garden, I think so. I would say it's a paradise. I have, of course, I have lots of photos from my trip, and one photo, keep it in a special place. It's called 4 baskets of apples, 1 basket of walnuts, and 1 cat. So this is paradise. Everything is there, and it's so weird feeling. In this paradise, you can see sirens. You can see all these war artifacts, but this is what happens, and this is their life. Yes, and yes, we performed together in Chesed. Igor, do you want to say something about it, your experience and your feeling? And Igor is, of course, one of the people I keep for whenever I read, okay, another bombing, Ukraine, this town, Kiev bombing. Igor and other people, are you okay? Yes, we are okay, but you know what? one moment, like I received a message that, you know, the room where you slept, whatever. I think the lamp was broken, or like the house, like then that's what it is. And I'm so grateful to you that you participated and you contributed in this project. Igor, say something.
Я должен сказать что-нибудь?
Ну, скажи, что хочешь.
Я хочу сказать, что твой приезд и выступление в Хеседе, наверное, было самое яркое впечатление этой осени, которое даже не затмило то, что я восстановил свой спектакль и выиграл. Это было действительно очень, очень было волнующе для меня и для Наташи моей, и ты могла сама видеть, как я себя вел во время твоего выступления, насколько это было чувственно, скажем так. И
Do you want to translate or you want me to briefly to summarize?
please.
Okay. It says that this visit was one of the best impressions of this past fall, and it was even better than the fact that Igor direct his own performance, his own play, which he restored this coming fall, this past fall. Да, Игорь. Я переведу.
Да. И я тебе благодарен за эту возможность, во-первых, прикоснуться к этой теме, которая как бы уже отходит на второй план, но в связи с тем, что у нас сейчас происходит в Украине, она вдруг получает совершенно новое звучание и новую значимость. И мне было особенно приятно это сделать, именно перевод на украинский язык, потому что я-то, в общем-то, русскоязычный человек и человек русской культуры, тем более обидно все, что с нами происходит. И именно перевод на украинский язык показал, что эта тема вечна и неприходящая, к сожалению. К сожалению.
Says that although the subject of Holocaust, subject of Yar, is historical, but it feels now much more relevant considering what is going on in Ukraine, and he is glad that he could contribute the Ukrainian translation, especially it is controversial as what is going on now for people raised in Russian culture and Russian language in Kiev. This is important to connect cost with today's state of Ukraine.
I would like to add that, you know, remember this very performance. It was one pure improvisation from Igor's side. When we talked about Babir, you didn't prepare it, right? Because Igor with his family, like at the beginning of the war, they moved like for some time. They spent in Poland and they came back. So it was one episode. The feeling was like similar to Бабий Яр. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, да, Игорь, да? То есть, когда в какой-то момент ты вспомнил, что вдруг заговорил о своем опыте, и там и ты, и люди были в слезах. То есть...
Я не знаю, удалось ли тебе посмотреть этот спектакль, о котором мы говорили, это мы, Господи,
конечно.
да? То есть я был причастен к постановке спектакля о Бабьем Яре, вот, в 2004 году. А когда мы выезжали в Польшу и провели 15 часов на границе, ожидая перехода, и было вечернее время, и погода такая почти как сейчас, моросил какой-то то ли дождик, то ли снег, какие-то прожектора горят, масса людей, и стоит просто толпа людей, которые должны пешком перейти границу, помимо тех, кто на личном транспорте, на автобусе, как мы. И вот когда им дали отмашку идти, и вдруг вся эта масса людей с детьми, с животными, старики, в основном девушки, женщины, старухи, и стало очень страшно. Вот стало, я просто...
About his experience in fall 2022, the fact is that he created a play about performance about Babi Yar 20 years ago, but in the beginning of full-scale war, he and his family spent sometimes weeks in Poland, and they tried to cross into Poland, standing for 15 hours in line on the border, and saw all this mass of women and children moving all across the border. Brought memories of years ago.
И вот когда эти люди в эту темноту, а еще километр приблизительно пешком нужно было пройти до, собственно, границы, до перехода, до пограничного пункта. И когда эти люди пошли, я только одну фразу сказал, помню до сих пор, говорю: слава Богу, что не в газовую камеру.
When this mass of women and children moved toward Poland in fall 22, trying to cross it, they had to walk about a kilometer to the actual crossing point. And he remembers the sentence he said, good thing they're not going to the gas chamber.
Да, поэтому представить себе, я когда был еще мальчиком, лет 14 мне было, я прочитал книгу Кузнецова «Бабий Яр», и это было страшно читать, хотя я не все мог, наверное, тогда понять. Но вот сегодня, когда ты понимаешь, что это в любую минуту может к тебе вернуться, а оно уже у нас почти вернулось в другой форме, в другом виде, этого нельзя не допускать, не забывать. И ты большой молодец, что ты эту тему поднимал.
When Igor was a kid, he read the famous novel by Anatoly Kuznetsov about Babi Yar, published in Soviet times, but it also much of history. But now we come back, and we all see that it is here upon us, and it should not be allowed to continue.
И самое, конечно, страшное, то, что, скажем, сегодня я себя спокойнее чувствую в Украине как еврей, но в то же время как гражданин Украины я понимаю, в какой я нахожусь опасности.
Igor says that as a Jewish person, he feels safe in Ukraine today, but he understands what danger is upon him as a Ukrainian.
I would like to add, thanks again, Igor mentioned his own theatrical performance, Dialogi в клетке, dialogues in the cage. I watched it, and in Kiev, actually it was one of my to-do list. Even though before that I watched it, one of the recordings with the Russian subtitles, and then I watched the actual theatrical performance. It's very good. It's really good. Yes. But what I want to say, Igor is one of Igor and Natasha, his wife, one of the people. Whatever happens in Kiev, I immediately send text. How are you guys? Are we okay? Is your cottage, your apartment, your building? I don't want it anymore. I want to ask him, how was your last theatrical performance? I don't want to live this life. It's something against human nature. It should never be like this. It should not. It's not. Want to ask about your creative work, not about if you're hit by the bombing. So I really hope that all this horror will end soon, and just really don't want to say this cliche words, but we all understand what we are talking about. And thank you very much. Thank you again, Igor. Thank you. So yes, and by the way, under the same chesed, I don't think we have people here in this virtual room. It was Survivors of Ghetto. It was another organization that exists under the same chesed. There are old people, there are young people that help them, and again and again, I wonder how talented the people I've worked with, and I got to know how they're like really people with real courage. I think I'm lucky, and I was honored about that. So that was Chesed, and the next performance was in Museum of Shalom Aleichem in the same Kiev. I'm not sure if anybody, I can't see everybody here. Is anybody who, like from Ukraine, who attended this Shalom Aleichem, the performance in Shalom Aleichem Museum? No, I don't think I have anybody, but I believe like this. The way it was created, I'm grateful to Zoya. Zoya, are you here? Zoinka. Zoya Полевая. Vita
Yes,
слышишь?
I'm here and listening.
Zoya.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I can hear you, but now I can see you as well. So like this performance, actually it happened. Like big gratitude to Zoya. Why? Like two things. Zoe introduced me to wonderful people, very talented, and people with really courageable. So there is Zoya. I think we lost your.
Yeah, I'm here.
Now we can see you. Yes. There are wonderful organization in Kiev, Ex Libris. I will let Zoe talk about it, but I think I knew about this Ex Libris earlier, but really got to know because Zoe told me more about it and introduced me to these people. And one of the key contributors of this project, a wonderful Ukrainian poet, Grigory Farkovich. He wrote a poem in Ukrainian, a sonnet about Nechama Lifshitz. He knows the subject very well, and I even translated it. I made the translation into Russian. But the performance in Shalom Aleichem Museum was different from all other performances. Denis Golubitsky, are you here? Because Denis was going to join, but I don't think. Probably they had some problems. Probably not. It was, I would say, like a mini festival, because the first part was Nechama's story with all relevant music and songs and whatnot, and the second part was a performance of this Ex Libris. So tell us a little bit about Ex Libris.
Ex Libris. Ex Libris, it's a club, and it was born, I think it was 1963. If I am mistaken, it's around that time. And Ex Libris leader was Maya Markovna Potapova, over 40 years. Actually, this woman, wonderful person, she was a daughter of Polish Jewish immigrants. Her father was killed by Stalin. Her mother was sent to the camp. And she was going to the Детский дом, children's house, without the parents, and her sister as well. So this is how her Soviet experience started. This is what I would say. She was a wonderful woman. She was beautiful. She was culture träger, if this is an English word, an understandable word. The intelligent people from Kiev, they were gathering around those clubs. And this club continuously goes with her невестка, how to say, her
daughter-in-law.
Daughter-in-law, yes, daughter-in-law, Lydia Potapova. And this club right now, it's more than 60 years old. And we are in New Jersey also, the club named after Kiev's club. We are Ex Libris, New Jersey. And we are connected somehow by heart, by art, by everything. And I was very glad and happy to introduce Vita to my very best friends, because it's old friends and the friends whom I really spent the life with, my best years of my life, I would say, maybe. So I was very glad to introduce Vita, and I really, it was like myself going to Kiev. I was talking to Vita, we made plan, we were talking about the friends who can help. And now I think you will tell what you got in Kiev and how you were greeted there and who greeted you in Kiev. Thank you, Vita.
Hey, thank you so much, Zoe. And just need to add, I'm super happy that it made friends to Zoe. By the way, for the first time I saw Zoe, it was like when Victor and I, we together present a couple of years ago, presented at Ex Libris, New Jersey, right? Your place. And then I got Zoe. She was part of one of events in Club EtCetera, in my Club EtCetera in Toronto. And I think I'm lucky, like having these people like friends and knowing them. And you know, I always say that inspiration is, I would say, contagious in a good sense, right? Like nobody can, we can't live in a vacuum. Like it's. We get these fluids from each other, and this is probably the biggest pleasure we can get. So that was Kiev, and after that I had 2 performances in Germany, in Baden-Baden and Freiburg, and of course people are more interested in what happened in Ukraine. But in Baden-Baden and Freiburg, Baden-Baden, we presented with Alexander Volodarsky with wonderful music, Mike Kaufman, Portnikov, and in Freiburg, it was had a part in actually a performance of Strudel band that performed in Freiburg, and Mike and I too. Mike.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something? Like, we know you as a wonderful musician and composer, and I haven't seen your works, creative works as director, but I will see for sure. But do you want to say something about this? And I know you are Ukrainian musician that temporarily moved to. You're located in Germany now, right?
Я почну з української мови для того, щоб вона все ж таки прозвучала.
I will
Я
start
дуже
with the Ukrainian language so that it can be heard.
Да, я дуже дякую долі, що ми зустрілися з Вітою. Це було абсолютно випадково.
I'm very grateful to fate that I've got to meet Vita. This was completely coincidental by accident.
Крім того, що я музикант і композитор, я амбасадор міста добра. Це в Чернівцях такий величезний, ну, можна назвати шелтер.
In addition to being a composer and a musician, I am also прошу ще раз, ambassador.
City of Godness. City of Godness. Місто добра.
City of Goodness. Yes, City of Goodness.
Yeah. Абсолютно, я. Це величезний шелтер, в якому до війни знаходили притулок тільки діти і їх матері, а з початку повномасштабної війни знаходять притулок всі, кому він потрібен.
This is a huge shelter that initially served children, mothers and children, and now with the advancements of the war, it now welcomes anybody who needs shelter.
Ми постійні волонтери. Ми там були з початку війни, ми волонтеримо далі, ми весь світ залучаємо до цього.
We are staffed completely by volunteers, and then there was a little bit of a glitch. Я не дочула, бо була пауза маленька.
Так. Я про те, що ми волонтери, і ми весь світ, де я виступаю, де мої концерти, вистави, ми всіх залучаємо по всьому світові, щоб всі волонтерили і допомагали місту добра.
Wherever I perform, wherever I have performances, I talk about this and I invite people to support this city of goodness.
Я хотів далі англійською казати, але ви так мене класно перекладаєте, що мені хочеться залишити українське, щоб вона залишалась.
А то
Справа-
цілковито до вас. Як хочете. There was an intention to now switch to English, but he will continue to
Ну,
speak in Ukrainian. А
Я,
як хочете.
Jewish themes have been present in my parents' home since my childhood. I was surprised that my mother accompanied Nechama Livshitsaite.
Wow.
I was surprised. It happened by chance, like everything else in our lives. The remarkable thing and Jewish cultural figure Sasha Somish introduced me to Vita by chance, which led to delightful events. They very, very creative and interesting events. Для мене участь, це, по-перше, була честь величезна, це дійсно було абсолютно випадково, скажімо так.
For me to participate in this was a great honor. It was happenstance, but it was a great honor.
Абсолютно. І це була настільки творча імпреза у Віти, що я долучився з всім серцем, з радістю і з вдячністю за це.
This was such a creative experience with Vita that I've connected to it with my entire heart and full of joy.
А мій досвід зараз мені дозволяє зробити такий висновок.
My experience to this point allows me to make this next comment.
Коли ми, українці будь-якого походження, живемо, а при цьому є апологетами інших культур, незалежно як вони будуть називатись, рано чи пізно буде біда.
When we Ukrainians, regardless of our specific backgrounds, live, будь ласка, ще раз, я дуже перепрошую.
Ми маємо обов'язково не бути апологетами культури країни, в якої ми живемо. Якщо ми українці, то ми маємо бути апологетами української культури.
Okay, we are, regardless of our background, we are not apologists for our specific background cultures. We are there for, we're Ukrainians. We are representing our Ukrainian culture and we are advocates for that, for Ukrainian culture. Чи то правильно?
Абсолютно, абсолютно. Ви абсолютно чітко перевели, я вам дуже щиро дякую. Нехама Лівшицайте, так як я це відчув з імпрези Віти, була апологетом єврейської культури, бо країна була інша, яка душила будь-яку іншу, крім радянщини.
Nehama, in her time, the way Vita presents her, was a spokesperson, was an apologist for her culture. Now things are, but it was a different time.
А тепер ми можемо нести і своє мамелошин, з чим ми народились.
Мамелошин, я не знаю, що це є.
Мамелошин – це мова, це language Yiddish. Це language Yiddish, з чим народився, з чим ти прийшов в цей світ.
And now we can use the language that we used when we first came into this world, the mother language. That's the word.
Так. І при цьому поважати, і головне, любити країну, в якій ти живеш. Це моя позиція.
Yeah, and my position is to honor and to love the country in which you live. It's beautiful. So just for our viewers here, this is musician, composer Mike Kaufman Portnikov, and we're so lucky to have him join us on our program today. And to our English-speaking audience, I do want to apologize for that not the best translation, and I thank our guests for their patience in helping me with words that I'm not as familiar with. But thank you so much.
Якщо ви мені дозволите, буквально півтори хвилини тільки зіграти просто,
One
мовчки.
second. This is
Please
exactly
do.
one second, Mike. This is exactly what I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
Ага.
Exactly. Like, actually, to finish our meeting with your wonderful music. Before that, I want to say, because you mentioned the culture, the important thing of identity, and this is what I love the most. And Victor Fett, the moderator, knows this like better than everybody else. One of like my passion is cultural mosaic, not in like because like it's very difficult to keep your own culture and at the same time same important to have respect for all other cultures. One of the things why Nehama's story, it I find it so touching, because this is the story of not just Jewish, it's Yiddish culture, which is kind of fusion of different languages and different cultures. Like for some of you who don't know Hebrew culture, this is Hebrew spoken in Israel. The main language is one thing. Yiddish culture is different thing. Even the structure, the language was formed in medieval times. It has influences and parts of like all possible European languages and cultures. It's amazing. So keep thinking about it. And this is, I would say, it's a symbolic thing that. That we dedicate our time and our love to this culture. Mike, play. I know that you're a great improviser. You feel what we are talking about. Play whatever you want, just to have a good ending for this meeting, good and optimistic, and for everybody, for all of us. And thanks again for joining. Play whatever you want, whatever you find suitable. Mike, thank you so much. I really had like trust me, I have tears on my eyes. And one of the melodies you played, it's Nehama song with the refrain Otazo, and this is how I called my festival of Jewish culture. For those who don't know, this word means in Yiddish this way. So let it be, and of course it means positive way. So let it be all positive way. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mike. Thank to the organizers and Katerina and Victor and Anara and all listeners. Thank you to everybody. And Victor, back to you or Katerina, whoever want to say or
Absolutely.
wrap up the meeting.
we are not out of time. We can stay as long as you guys want. It's a holiday time. I know it's Friday and Friday night for many of you. But whatever is your persuasion, we greet you with all the holidays, past and present and future. And before we adjourn, I definitely need to give word to some comments and maybe some questions. Everyone who wants to say something, if you don't know English, задай вопрос на любой мове, которую вы знаете, мы их постараемся перевести. Yes, please. Do I see people who want to ask questions? Please, Frida. Frida, unmute yourself.
Okay.
Microphone.
Yes, okay. Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm very grateful. It was for me for the first time. I'm from Israel. I know a little bit Russian, Ukrainian, Hebrew, Yiddish, and English a little bit. Well, I wanted to tell you that thank you very much. It is very important to show the beauty of Yiddish culture, of Hebrew culture, nowadays when the world is full of hatred and anti-Semitism. And I am from Kiev, so I have some relatives and friends there, and I know that they suffer from Russian bombs, and I wish everybody to live in peace and prosperity. And thank you very much. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Frida.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you, Frida. Any more comments, questions, комментарии, вопросы? Пожалуйста, please.
Чи можна мені одне слово сказати?
Yes, please. Да, пожалуйста, будь ласка.
Я хочу себе включити. Бачите мене? Ага, добре.
Пока нет. Сейчас.
Так.
Секунду.
Я вимкнула.
Емілія.
Так,
Емілія?
це я. Так, це я. Я не знаю, чи можу я розмовляти українською, чи краще мені російською, як?
Doesn't matter.
Що вам вигідніше? Що ви волієте? Що вам вигідніше? А Віктор може мені допомогти, як я щось там
Ну, я не знаю, я з дитинства двомовна, і мені однаково. Якщо мене розуміють українською, то я буду розмовляти українською, якщо дозволите.
Ми так
Катерина,
точно
please.
розуміємо.
Yes. Да.
Я хочу сказати, що я вперше на такій передачі з вашим, Віктор, організацією. І Віту я бачу теж як творчу особистість, теж вперше, хоча ми вже знайомі досить давно.
I would like to say that this is my first time on a program such as this, but
Okay.
Vita I've known for a long time as a creator, as a creative person.
І я у захваті по багатьох параметрах. Я з Харкова, але вже 25 років живу в Німеччині.
I'm originally from Kharkiv, but for the last 25 years I've lived in Germany.
Я з початку лютого 22-го року майже повністю відмовилася від творчості на російській. Я поетка і писателька, але чим далі, тим менше я вживаю російську.
As a poet, starting in February of 2022, I began to turn away from the Russian language and not use the Russian language.
І все, що я сьогодні чула, це для мене таке було дуже-дуже сильне таке переживання. Я трошки повернулася у своє дитинство, бо я напівєврейка, напівукраїнка. І ось ці єврейські мотиви, це мотиви моєго дитинства, і це мама Лошин, яку я чула від моїх дідуся і бабусі. Тато майже не розмовляв, але дідусь і бабуся мої єврейські, вони розмовляли і казали мені, що не пунем, EtCetera.
So everything I heard today for me was very emotional. It was a return to my childhood. I am half Jewish, half Ukrainian, and these themes of my childhood resonated powerfully with me.
І я бачила оці танці при спектаклі, і це мене повернуло до єврейських весіль, які я теж у них приймала участь, як ще була юною, молодою.
This returned me to the Jewish weddings that I participated in when I was young.
Я таки розплакалася, коли Ігор з Києва розповідав про це переживання на кордоні.
I burst into tears when I heard the experiences on the border that one of the previous speakers had talked about.
І я знову розплакалась, коли я чула цю чудову музику. Дуже дякую вам, пане Миколо. Це було просто чудово.
And again, I burst into tears when I heard this beautiful music that was being played by Mike, and very grateful to that. Thank you very much for that.
Ще одне таке щасливе для мене переживання. Мої батьки були викладачі англійської філології, англійської мови. І вони мене з дитинства призвичаїли до англійської мови. Але я непогано володіла англійською мовою, але коли я емігрувала до Німеччини, то німецька мова просто вичавила, витиснила англійську з мого активного вжитку.
I've a happy experience that my parents were lecturers of English and they exposed me to English from a young age. But moving to Germany, the German language has taken precedence over English in my abilities. I'm not doing a very good job here to our English speakers, by the way. The words being spoke. Well, Pani Emilia speaks so beautifully in Ukrainian. Tak hardo po-ukrainski. And I'm translating, I guess, the sense, but not the beauty with which eloquence with which she is speaking.
And
Do it.
І що я для себе сьогодні зрозуміла, що я розуміла все англійською мовою. Я тільки, як от в старовинному анекдоті, кажу, що все розуміє, але казати не може. Оце була сьогодні я. Я навіть не очікувала, що я буду повністю розуміти все, що ти казала, все, що Віктор, всі, хто розмовляв англійською.
Emilia, I will tell you the secret because I have an accent. This is for the only reason. Like I speak English with the accent, so it's
before I get lost, what I learned for myself is that I actually understood all the Ukrainian that was being spoken here. I did not expect that, but I understood the exchanges the various people were saying.
Отже, я дуже дякую від того серця. Дякую красно, дякую уклінно за те, що я мала змогу отак от просто побачити, почути, отаке пережити. Дякую. Тобі, Вікторе, що ти мені сказала, що таке буде відбуватися. І вам, Вікторе, за організацію такої передачі чудової. І всім, хто перекладачці чудовій. Дякую.
Thank you very much for all of this. Thank you, Vita, for inviting me. Thank you very much for allowing me to participate in this. Thank you for this experience. Thank you very much to everyone and to Victor specifically.
Thank you, Katerina. Your translation is so beautiful. First, when you started, I thought this is artificial intelligence.
This is a questionable compliment, Victor. I know,
I know.
Because we are times that we are living in, right? So saying that you are almost like AI, it's like a compliment.
I know I'm joking, and Katerina knows this, and I will ask her
really,
to say.
Very good translation and very fast.
Katerina, I know you have comments. Please talk.
I'm ready to do the show closing whenever you are, but just my comment would be, my heart is so full. For me, this was another very emotional program. I'm very grateful to everyone for all they're doing. And it's a nice reminder of how powerful poetry, culture, art is in our darkest times, that we find hope and strength and perseverance and a future among these great, talented people in our midst who, with their creative powers, continue to preserve that which cannot be destroyed by war. And very, very grateful to everyone on this program.
Thank you so much, Katerina.
Please say a few words to our viewers in Ukraine.
Дорогі браття і сестри в Україні, ми зберігаємо вас щоденно в наших думках і молитвах. Нехай милосердний Бог тримає вас у своїй опіці. До наступного тижня. Прощаємося.
Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Героям
Israel
слава!
high.
Героям слава!
Мира и счастья.
God
С
bless
наступающим.
America.
Пока. Спасибо вам. Thank you.